Hello everyone, welcome to the study guides on the books that have won Booker Prize. And in this video, we are going to discuss Time Shelter by Georgi Gospodinov, which won International Booker Prize in 2023, and its translator is Angela Rodel, and the genre of this novel is dystopian, speculative fiction and satire. Synopsis. Time Shelter tells the story of a clinic for the past, a concept created by Gospodinov, an enigmatic therapist specializing in memory disorders. This clinic is designed to provide Alzheimer's patients with immersive environments that mimic past decades to ease their anxieties and reconnect them with memories. As word of the clinic spreads, however, it attracts not only those with memory disorders but also healthy individuals who wish to escape the disillusionment of contemporary life. This leads to an unsettling trend where entire nations hold referendums to determine which decade they wish to live in, effectively bringing the past into present. The novel explores themes of nostalgia, memory, identity, and the dangers of longing for an idealized past. Key characters. Gospodinov. Gospodinov is an elusive and charismatic therapist specializing in memory disorders like Alzheimer's and dementia. Described as a vagrant in time, he initially seems like a visionary who provides therapeutic relief for patients. However, as the story progresses, his actions become more morally ambiguous, especially as he begins to manipulate not only individual memories but also societal desires to revisit an idealized past. Gostinov's character raises ethical questions about the role of memory in human identity and the dangers of nostalgia when wielded irresponsibly. Is he genuinely helping patients by giving them comfort through nostalgia, or is he exploiting a universal vulnerability for his own purposes? Did Gospodinov cross a moral boundary by expanding the clinic to include healthy individuals? How does his character reflect the novel's central theme of selective memory and nostalgia are some of the discussion points that are required to be taken into consideration while reviewing his character. Narrator Gigi. The unnamed narrator, who is likely a fictional representation of Gospodinov himself, aids Gospodinov by collecting artifacts and memories for the clinic's recreation of different decades. This character blurs the line between fiction and reality, especially as he mirrors the author's initials and background. The narrator's identity crisis reflects the novel's exploration of memory and identity. He struggles to distinguish between Gostinov's world and his own, questioning the stability of his identity as he becomes more entrenched in constructing and preserving others' past. How does the narrator's connection to Gospodinov affect his perception of time and reality, and to what extent is he a mere assistant or, like Gospodinov, a manipulator of memory, are some of the questions that need to be discussed while reviewing his character. Major themes: memory and nostalgia. Explanation. The clinic's central concept rests on recreating specific decades in meticulous detail to help patients reconnect with memories. Memory is portrayed as a double-edged sword, capable of providing comfort but also imprisoning individuals in the past. Discussion points. How do personal and collective memories shape identity, and what happens when these memories are recreated artificially? Is nostalgia portrayed as a healing mechanism, or does it act more like an addictive substance that prevents growth? Questions. Can memory truly be controlled or curated, and if so, what are the ethical limits? Does the novel suggest that our memories are more reliable than imagined experiences? Second theme. The power and danger of nostalgia. Key quote. The judges of the International Booker Prize noted that the book explores the weaponization of nostalgia. The clinic begins as a comforting space but ultimately becomes a tool that governments use to manipulate citizens' emotions. Analysis: by catering to individuals' desire to return to a safer or more ideal past, the clinic eventually influences whole societies, revealing the darker side of nostalgia. This element of the novel critiques contemporary political and social trends, where nostalgia is often leveraged to stoke fear or complacency. And questions for discussion: how does Gostein's clinic illustrate the ways nostalgia can be both comforting and dangerous? And what modern parallels exist where nostalgia is used as a tool for influence? Next theme: historical trauma and selective memory. Explanation: the novel explores how selective memory can lead to idealized visions of the past, often omitting uncomfortable truths. For instance, patients in the clinic seek solace in familiar surroundings, but not all memories are positive. A Holocaust survivor, for instance, avoids certain memories to protect herself from reliving trauma. And discussion points: what are the ethical implications of selectively preserving memories, and does the novel suggest that there is a necessity for both memory and forgetting? And questions: how does Gospodinov connect individual memories to national identities? Is the act of forgetting portrayed as destructive or sometimes necessary? Fourth theme: individual and collective identity. Explanation: Time Shelter suggests that identity is not only personal but also tied to collective memory. The narrator's journey to gather artifacts reflects his grappling with what it means to have a cohesive identity in an era where memories are fragmented and manipulated. Analysis: Gospodinov examines how individual identities are shaped by societal narratives. The novel challenges the reader to consider the impact of national histories and shared memories on self-perception. And questions: how do personal memories and societal narratives interact in the novel, and to what extent does one influence the other? And another question: does Time Shelter suggest that memory is primarily a personal or collective experience? And the fifth theme: nostalgia versus reality in national identity. Explanation: the idea of countries choosing a decade to return to as their ideal past satirizes the political manipulation of nostalgia, showing how countries often idealize certain eras without fully acknowledging their complexities or drawbacks. And questions for consideration: why do certain countries choose specific decades, and what does this say about their values? And how does Gospodinov's concept critique the selective nature of historical memory in the political sphere? Stylistic and structural analysis. Narrative technique. The novel's style is fragmentary and polyphonic, blending historical quotations, imagined voices, and metafictional asides. This approach mirrors the themes of memory and nostalgia, with each voice representing a piece of the puzzle that is Gostein's and the narrator's world. Metafictional elements. The narrator's self-awareness combined with the author's initials GG creates a blend of reality and fiction that complicates the reader's perception of truth. This blurring of author, narrator, and protagonist reflects the novel's themes of identity and reality. Role of humor and irony. Critics call the book morbidly humorous, highlighting how Gospodinov uses irony to explore dark themes without overwhelming the reader. Gostein's Clinic is both a serious meditation on memory and a satire on society's fixation on the past. Critical reception and comparisons. Influences and literary comparisons. The novel has been compared with works of Milan Kundera and Marcel Proust, particularly in how it addresses the weight of memory. Kundera's focus on Eastern European identity and memory resonates with Gospodinov's exploration of Bulgaria and Europe. Thomas Mann's The Magic Mountain and Proust's In Search of Lost Time are also major influences, as both explore how time shapes individual and collective experiences. Time Shelter combines the existential questions raised by these authors with a contemporary speculative twist. International reception. Time Shelter has been widely praised for its philosophical depth, blending of humor and satire, and relevance to current global issues. The novel resonates with contemporary concerns around populism, nationalism, and nostalgia-based political rhetoric, drawing parallels to recent world events like Brexit and the rise of nationalist movements. Questions for further discussion. Gostin's character. How do Gostin's actions reflect both the allure and the danger of nostalgia? Do you think he becomes a manipulative figure by the end of the novel, or does he remain a visionary healer? Nostalgia as escape. Can nostalgia genuinely provide healing, or does it serve as an escapist trap for those unwilling to face reality? In what ways does the novel show nostalgia as both a comfort and a constraint? Referendums on the past. The referendums held by EU countries to determine their ideal past are satirical and cautionary. What does this concept suggest about how history is used to shape national identity? Could such an idea resonate with recent trends in real-world politics? Role of metafiction. Does the novel's self-referential style enhance the story, or does it distract from the thematic depth? How does the blending of author and character perspectives impact the reader's understanding of the narrative? Impact of translation. Angela Rodell's translation is praised for capturing the nuances of Gospodinov's language. How might the themes of memory and nostalgia present unique challenges in translation, especially given the novel's culturally specific elements? Modern resonance. Although published before the war in Ukraine, the novel foreshadows aspects of current European tensions. How does Time Shelter addresses the cyclical nature of history, and does it offer insights or solutions for breaking free from these cycles? Suggested further reading. Milan Kundera, The Book of Laughter and Forgetting. This work addresses memory, politics, and the impact of forgetting in shaping national identity, similar to Time Shelter's exploration of selective memory. Marcel Proust, In Search of Lost Time. Gospodinov's novel draws on Proust's exploration of memory and its relationship to identity, evoking themes of time and nostalgia. Thomas Mann, The Magic Mountain. Mann's novel examines the passage of time and European identity, much like Time Shelter, which critiques the European nostalgia for an idealized past. W.G. Sebald, The Rings of Saturn. Sebald's writing on memory, trauma, and history parallels Gospodinov's philosophical reflections on the past and present. Conclusion. Time Shelter by Georgi Gospodinov offers a profound exploration of memory, identity, and allure of nostalgia. Through the speculative concept of a clinic that recreates the past, the novel examines the ethical boundaries of memory manipulation and warns against the dangers of idealizing bygone eras. Gospodinov's narrative, blending humor and poignancy, challenges readers to question how much of the past should be preserved and what happens when nostalgia overwhelms the present. The novel serves as both a cautionary tale and a call to embrace the future, reminding us that memories should guide, not dictate, our path forward. So this was the discussion on the novel Time Shelter by Georgi Gospodinov. We will meet in the next video, and discuss some other novel. Until then, goodbye and thank you.